We are with Representative Burrell, a candidate running for the mayor of Shreveport. As a young concerned citizen, there are a few questions that we would like to ask. The first question is, what is your strategy to get and keep young adults and young professionals in the city of Shreveport?
Well, Carmen, I'm glad you asked that because I have 5 young professionals that I have to try to encourage to stay here because we don't need the brain drain. I have an orthopedic surgeon, I have a chemist, I have an engineer, I have an assistant DA, as well as a physicist. And as you can see, these young people have prepared themselves educationally to look for higher paying jobs that will be found like with Fortune 500 companies or holding companies, of which Shreveport has none. So I need to go out and try to find ways to recruit them. I think we need to provide business incentives for these companies to come here in order to create better jobs for these young people. We need to diversify our existing business base. We have existing businesses here that we could actually work with to expand manufacturing, which is a higher paying job. I think that is so important. I think that we need more entertainment venues where there would be social outlets for our young people, because after all, they're the ones who are producing kids that promote the future of Shreveport. And these type of entertainment activities could include amusement parks. We need more movies, the drive-in movie. I remember the days of the old drive-in movie. It's coming back. We need to look at that. We have a film industry where we could provide offshoots of job opportunities there. I think it's an exciting time. We need to provide opportunities for entrepreneurship development, because many of these young people, once they get their education, then they want to become employers, not just employees.
Our second question is, do you plan on bringing a more diverse job market to the city of Shreveport? And if so, how do you plan on doing it?
Yes, I would, Carmen. I think the first thing that we need to do from the standpoint of being a mayor, you have to build a strong relationship with your council. I think it's important that you're on the same sheet of music. From there, you need to reach out, and you need to reach out to your state and federal officials and get them to work along with you, because there's a lot of federal funds out there, especially for a city of our size and our economic conditions. We do have a number of poor people here in Shreveport, and I think that we would serve well to look at federal grant programs that can also bring in economic opportunities. I think we need to also work with our regional economic development partners across the state and work with them to bring in more industries, not only nationally, but internationally, because we have a port and other means by which we can handle such commerce. We need to create business investment funds, and these funds will be used to develop a public-private partnership that will help create more jobs, as well as provide greater benefit for those companies that are here to expand. I think also we need to create more retail and manufacturing jobs. Although we have somewhat of a low economic base for many of our citizens, where the retail market would assist there, but we have people who have the skills that can work in the manufacturing industry, which many times provide a higher paying job and create a better quality of life for them. Also here we have the development of the Haynesville Shale. The Haynesville Shale is oil and gas exploration and development. Those are high paying jobs. We need to look at the petroleum industry and find a niche there and create much higher paying jobs here.
Thank you. How do you plan to combat the high levels of crime in Shreveport?
Well, the situation about the crime levels in Shreveport, I think that it's more of a perception than reality. Although the crime statistics seem to be down, I think the perception is that Shreveport is not a safe city. And perception is 80% of reality, as you know. I feel that we must combat our crime situation by creating more nonprofit organizations that can sort of undergird the problems that we have in many of our neighborhoods, the social problems, the economic problems that we have. I think we need to provide stricter enforcement of existing laws that we have, like the curfew law or the truancy law. I think we need to work toward a zero tolerance policy, that we will not allow crime in this area. I think that we need to also work again with communities, churches, and other social groups that we can collaborate where many of these crimes will be reported and people will not feel like they will be retaliated against.
We're all aware of the problems that we're having with our city streets. Many of us have had to replace tires and rims because of the problems with the streets. How do you plan on rectifying the problems with the city streets?
Well, Carmen, I recognize that this is a considerable problem for our city, and not just now, but it has been for a while. But we have not done anything in the last 4 years to try to rectify this problem. One of the main reasons we have not been able to do it because we have not generated enough revenue to pay for these things. And these capital improvements are very, very expensive. One of the ways I'm looking to raise the revenue to make those improvements will be to look at our existing budget, reevaluate our priorities as relate to our budgets. We may have to look at some areas and transfer that money into the area of infrastructure improvement. Another area that I'm looking at to raise revenue is to provide cross-training for many of our employees. It would expand their knowledge, as well as provide an opportunity for us to stay within our budget, because one of our biggest costs or expenses that relate to our budget has to do with our employees. I don't plan on laying anybody off. I think that is important to know. I think also from the standpoint of federal and state capital improvement grants, I think it's important that we find ways in which we can get those dollars also. I would like to hire a grant writer. We used to have 2 grant writers, and this administration basically fired both of them. So we need to bring them back, or bring at least one back, to look at those federal dollars, because of our economic conditions here. We have quite a few poor people, so I think we can find opportunities there. I think we need to also look out at the tax debt that we have, people who owe the city money. We did a tax amnesty program at the state level, which encouraged people who owe taxes to pay their taxes if we would forgive them penalties. And I think we can bring revenue in there. Last but not least, I think that we need to look at a bond issue. And a bond issue that would not increase the taxes on our taxpayers, but it will provide the necessary revenue to do our infrastructure improvements.
What is your vision of Shreveport for the next 4 years?
Well, as your mayor for the next 4 years, I'm very excited about all of the possibilities and the opportunities that lie before us. I see Shreveport as not being just a city, but the new destination for this area to bring in families for better quality of life for families, as well as business opportunities. I think, too, as mayor, I would like to, again, make sure that the people feel that the mayor's office is the people's office. We haven't had that. You know, people feel that if they call the mayor's office, they will never get a call back. I would assure them that will happen. In terms of job creation, it is so important that we are able to keep our young people here. And because I have 5 professional young people, I would like for them to come back and be a part of Shreveport's future. I think, too, that integrity and accountability for the taxpayers and to the taxpayer dollars is so important for our taxpaying citizens. And we must bring in professional staff that we don't have right now in order to bring about that confidence in our taxpayers that when they're paying their money in and the city is using it, that we're giving them the best bang for their buck. I think also that we must create the perception that Shreveport is a safe city. If the crime statistic shows that we're a safe city, then we must make sure that our businesses that want to come here and our families that want to come here, that they feel that this city is really safe. In terms of our infrastructure, definitely we need to improve our infrastructure, our streets and drainage. Our water is so important. We need to make sure that we keep a good quality of water for the subsistence of our residents. I think also too, as far as the quality of life, as I said before, when companies come here, some of the things that they look at is your educational system, but also the quality of life that you provide. We need social activities. We need to diversify our economy from a gaming economy to more of a family-oriented economy where families can raise their children and have things to do. So as your mayor, I am very optimistic about Shreveport and all it has to offer.